Cardi B got nominated for Best Performance. No one is saying that.
The Beatles suck.
Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson will be the most watched fight in the history of fighting.
You can gamble on the NFL, and that shit is 100% rigged and staged.
What you just described would put both of them in prison.
Indiana football, top 5 in the country. I'm telling you right now, Joshua, we are in the end games. Like Thanos is about to break through this fucking universe wall any second.
I tell you I'm on the road. About to get all this dough. Me and no fuck niggas know. I swear to God we the ghosts. This ain't the story they told. Man, if you know, then you know. I never had to tell my dogs that we on rough for greatness. They paper getters, they want money.
Welcome to the Real Oshow. I'm Zachary. Joining me as always is my partner in crime, my brother Joshua. And today we're going to discuss a variety of topics. But first, Drake was 100% right. As soon as Kendrick opens his mouth, he gets a Grammy. Joshua, Kendrick Lamar was nominated for 7 Grammys.
Kendrick was nominated for Record of the Year, Song of the Year, Best Rap Song, Best Rap Performance, Best Music Video. That's 5. He also has multiple nominations for a couple of them. So for Best Rap Song, he has Like That and Not Like Us. Not Like Us has 5 Grammy nominations by itself. And then Like That has 2, which was from the Future Metro Boomin album. So basically, if you rapped about Drake, you got nominated for a Grammy.
Isn't that wild?
It kind of blows my mind that Drake got disrespected, didn't get anything. I also thought
because Drake is anti-establishment. Kendrick tries to play the anti-establishment part, and he's the most established person ever. Like, he is an industry probe.
But so
1,000%.
I'll give you another example. Kanye West, you could also say, is anti-establishment, anti-label, anti-big corporation. He was nominated for a Grammy. Now, it is Best Rap Song. It was Ye, Ty Dolla $ign, and Playboi Carti, of course, for the Carnival, which, good song. Thought it was a good song.
Speaking of another industry probe, Playboi Carti.
Playboi Carti is for sure a plant. Like, I don't even know. We should have asked Rob Jua when we had him on the podcast what the fuck we were thinking about how these nominations even happened, because why Playboi Carti is nominated for anything is beyond me. Now, this is for Best Rap Song, so that's different. But I thought it was a snub that Ye's album, what was the album called? I'm blanking on it. Maybe it's the Carnival album. But Ye should have been nominated for Album of the Year as well, I thought. Personally, the Ty Dolla $ign Ye collab was a great album. Drake got snubbed. Like, it kind of upset me when I saw some of the people that did get nominated, like Cardi B got nominated. Like,
industry probe.
Bro, Cardi B, what the fuck does Cardi B do?
Pretty much the only way to get a Grammy is be an industry probe at this point.
And Cardi B got nominated for Best Performance. No one is saying that. No one is saying that.
Joshua, we've talked about this a lot with the marketing advertising world, where it's like, we're the number one agency, we're the number one this. It's all bought and paid for. The Grammys are 100% bought and paid for. Like, I think to get on the top list for Best Rap Song, Best Performance, Artist of the Year, I'm 1,000% sure deep in my gut, you have to pay for that. Yeah. You have to pay to even be considered. And then obviously the numbers and whatever matter, but it's like, it's already like the whole industry has been blown wide open right now. Like, everything is bought and paid for. Like, no one's monthly listeners are actually real. At this point, the Grammys have lost all credibility, and it goes back to like the traditional route. The Grammys are very traditional. They were cool 20 years ago. It's a new day and age now. Like, just because you win a Grammy doesn't mean you're cool in the hood or in culture or in some area of the world. It actually means nothing. And the fact that Drake wasn't considered for anything goes more so towards my point, especially when everybody that's being nominated are 1,000% industry plants.
Listen, it's not even outside the industry plants. Like, what characterizes, like, what is the judgment on it? Because you look at streaming numbers, and I guess, numbers aren't always everything, but Drake sells out everything. He outsells all these people. He has better hits, better whatever. Doesn't even get the nod. Like, doesn't even get a nomination. That's what's crazy to me.
Because his people, or he doesn't want to pay to be considered.
I get it, but it's just like, it doesn't make any sense to me, because you look at some of these people that got nominated. It's just like, the Beatles got nominated for Now and Then, which is, I'm assuming, an old song that they just like
Are the
put
Beatles
out.
dead?
Yeah,
Like,
some of them
they're
are.
all
the
dead?
the lead singer. Well, I don't even know. I know nothing about the Beatles. I'm not gonna sit here and be like the Beatles were like my
No, the
parents.
Beatles probably sucked.
Listen, you can't deny what they did. Like they obviously have a cult following, and they did a lot
Joshua,
of
clip
things.
this up. The Beatles suck.
No, I mean maybe the Beatles do have a couple hits, but for them to be nominated for a Grammy in 2025, that's just like you're sucking some old dick. Like that's all that is. Now, to me, when I look at, let's just say record of the year, Kendrick Lamar, Not Like Us. Okay, that we knew that one was going to happen. The Beatles, Beyonce's Texas Hold'em, weird.
Industry plant.
Sabrina Carpenter's been popping off, so I could understand
That's probably the first real one I'll agree with.
Charlie XCX. I don't really. Maybe
She's been hot.
She's been hot, I guess. Whatever.
Cult following too.
Billie Eilish.
Fair.
Cult following. Chapel Roan.
I
Don't even know who the fuck that is. And then Taylor Swift, Post Malone, which again, I don't hate. Taylor Swift can win all the Grammys because she deserves it.
Yeah, but she can sell out a fucking
deserves
country.
it. She like that's where I don't get it. Like if we're gonna be real with ourselves, Taylor Swift and Drake would win every category.
1000%.
If that's really what it was, because to me, I'm like, there's no other reason for it, right? There's no other reason that you would have that.
I couldn't agree more. And it just I don't know if there's an amount of money to pay me to watch the Grammys and actually give a fuck.
No, the Grammys are irrelevant. There's probably no. This is actually a good opportunity, I think, for an award show that actually matters to come through and make something, because, like, to me, the Grammys is so bought, paid for, no one gives a fuck. Now, to build this same esteem of the Grammys, how people hold that regard,
But that
might take time.
But that's what it goes back to. The Grammys are traditional. There's got to be something new that comes along, like the YouTube Awards or the Twitch Awards, or something.
But
has
even
to
those
come through and break through.
Even those, like you saw, like the streamer of the year this year for Twitch was Iron Mouse, which, again, you're not going to tell me that you're better than Speed, Kai, Queso, Aiden Ross, all these other people. You're not going to convince me that. Now, she does a completely different stream, and you have to respect that she can garner hundreds of thousands of people being a fucking anime character, and you have to respect that. But you're not going to convince me that Kai and Speed aren't doing it the best, because they fucking are. And speaking of Kai, he's in the middle of Mafiathon 2 right now. He just broke the Twitch record for most subscribers. He's at, currently, as we film this podcast, he's at 369,275 paying subscribers, which is a crazy amount.
It's $5.
$5 a subscriber. Now, with that being said, 160,000 of those are gifted. So, which means that, like, for example, I pay for my subscription. I might do 100 gifted, which means I pay for 10 people, or, you know, whatever the fucking numbers come out to be, which would be actually more than that. But still, be like 50
So
people.
someone's giving like $100 to Kai a month, essentially.
Yeah. And they gave him $100, but that pays for a couple people to be in, you know, to be in there.
Interesting.
So you're like kind of like donating more to them. Now, with that being said, I think Kai is probably the best streamer. Now, when I say that,
1000%.
and that takes nothing away from Speed, because I think what Speed does is a totally different thing. It's IRL. He's running around, like he was just in Ann Arbor yesterday at the gymnastics doing like a bunch of shit with like the Olympic.
Was in Ann
training.
Arbor?
Yeah, he was in Ann Arbor.
That's where that was?
Yeah.
That's super interesting.
Yeah, he's in Ann Arbor. So he was there doing a bunch of like flips and shit, whatever, with some of the Olympic guys. That's great. That's really cool. Why I think Kai pulls so much, and why a couple other people I really like that stream, they don't need anything. They need a room. Now, with that being said, Kai's in a $55 million mansion. He's got every celebrity possible rolling through. He's got all these things. But that's why I think it's great is he's doing 8 segments a day. So if you click away, you're going to miss the thing. So it's like he's very calculated about it. And then while he sleeps, he has NPC Miles, who is just doing this, like literally being an NPC the whole time, which is kind of funny. But at the same time, he is literally raking in subscribers for him while he sleeps.
I think that's really interesting with the farm subscribers. I feel like in my gut it's like kind of cheating, but I'm like, I get it. Like,
but there's a caveat to that. There's a caveat to that because Kai is kind of copying what Iron Mouse did. So Iron Mouse, the reason why she broke the Twitch subscriber, like Kai's record to begin with, was because she was donating 10% or 15% of the money to a charity that was like for her disability or what something that she has like some disorder. She donated a lot of money to that. So Kai is doing a very similar thing where he's donating like 10% or 15% of the money to schools in Nigeria to build schools.
Smart.
Now, some people are like, you're a cheap fuck, but it's like, no. One, it takes a lot. You know how much money it costs to rent a $55 million mansion for a month? A lot of money. Do you know how much it costs to have people 24/7 doing that shit? All the equipment. Like, you go back there and you see the fucking people that he has to employ to do this. It's a whole production. Like, he's spending $1 million.
It's funny how people call someone like Kai Cenat cheap for only donating 10 to 15%, when that 10 to 15% is more money than most people will make in their whole life, and he's donating that.
Yeah, no, listen, it's always easy for people that don't have anything to be like, oh, they should have donated more. Like, I would have donated more. Well,
I would then be like, do you donate right now? Do you donate at all right now? You can make $30,000 a year. Okay, donate. If you think the biggest people in the world should donate more, you donate.
It's not even about donating that, because it's like, if you don't have the money, you donate your time. How do you donate? Like, you have to do something. So don't come at someone else when you yourself. And
Agreed.
How can you knock someone for doing better than you did? Like, you're just shaming them because they were more successful. They worked harder. They had the right. Like, Kai didn't come from shit. He had rats running across his fucking floor 3-4 years ago. Now he's in a $55 million mansion. If that doesn't show you what hard work does, then I can't help you anyway.
I fully agree, but I want to transition here. So we're dropping this podcast the morning of Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson.
Yes.
And a lot has been made about the fight. We've talked about it a couple times on this show. We've even talked to Pops about it a little bit. And I'm at the point right now, it's obviously going to happen. So my whole gut feeling was like, it's not going to happen. Something's going to happen. They'll just cancel the whole show. My biggest thing right now is, one, no one's getting knocked out. Absolutely no one will get knocked out. No one's going to win or lose. Complete exhibition. Both of their hands are going to get raised.
It's not.
And I'm telling you right now, Jake Paul and Mike Tyson are going to like stage it to look like a real fight, but it is not going to be a real fight.
What you just described would put both of them in prison, because this is a professionally sanctioned fight. Now, there was people talking about there's a clause that Mike Tyson's not allowed to go for it on Jake. Again, it's a professional fight. When you talk about a professionally sanctioned fight, so it's in Texas. That means the Texas Committee of Fighting has to be there and regulate it. There is no, both hands get raised. It's not like, it's like, this is a sanctioned fight that people can gamble on. It's not a fucking, you can run around there. I don't know if Jake is going to just be smart with it. But, like, to me, Mike Tyson's going to stand in there, and he's either going to be eating Jake's punches or Jake's eating his punches. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know how many people are eating Mike Tyson's punches.
I doubt any big major betting platforms you can bet on this fight.
I bet on it on DraftKings. It's on FanDuel. It's on Better. It's on every platform.
Really?
It's on every platform.
What are the
possible.
Odds? What are the odds?
When I bet on it, the odds were Mike Tyson was plus 140. I think Jake was minus 210.
Yeah, Jake Paul's definitely going to win, though.
No. Jake is going to win this fight.
It's a young man's game.
But that's my point is,
I had no idea you could bet on this.
Jake has to wait it out. I think this is only like an 8-round fight. It's a short fight. That's my point is, I don't know how much you can wait out with Mike Tyson. I don't know. To me, I think Mike's going to be fucking, like, his legs are going to be gone after round 2. Like, at most, it's going to be round 2. That's Jake's. Like, the longer the fight goes, the better it is for Jake. The longer it goes, the worse it is for Mike. To me, I'm not counting either one of them out, because it is a young man's game. It is, you look at Mike Tyson and he's fucking 55 or however the fuck old he is. He's 6-packed out right now and he's looking good. And I'm like, fuck. They're both on steroids right now. Like, they're fucking both juicing hard.
So it can't be a professionally sanctioned fight.
Yes,
they're both on
can.
steroids.
Because it's all,
you got to get tested.
Yes, Zachary. Do you think
this is smoke and mirrors, bro? I'm
Zachary,
telling you.
But boxing is different because, like, you know when your fight is. I know when boxing isn't like the UFC where they have USADA, where it's like, if you're in the pool, they can just randomly test you whenever. Boxing isn't like that. Like, boxing, you just go there and they might do.
So you're telling me they all went on steroids and then wean themselves
off? Yeah, you just
so they could
cycle
piss
off.
clean.
Yeah, you cycle off.
I don't 100%. Think so.
100%.
I think this is a smoke and mirrors fight.
Listen, I'm not gonna argue and say that.
And then I also want to come back. You can gamble on the NFL, and that shit is 100% rigged and staged.
Yes, but Zachary, you're missing the whole point of this. Yes, it is a little bit of smoke and mirrors. Yes, this is for show. Yes, this is to sell tickets. Yes, this is to be the biggest media fight ever. Like, Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson will be the most watched fight in the history of fighting. It's not even close.
I agree with
It's
that.
not even close. It might go down as one of the most watched things on Netflix history.
Until Netflix hosts the Super Bowl in 8 years.
Maybe, but I'm saying every pillar that they're going to hit is always going to be broken. Like Tom Brady broke it with the roast. This might break Tom Brady's record. Netflix is open to the whole world. It's a free fight. Most big fights, I have to pay $50 for. Now the barrier of entry is already way down.
Not free. You need to have a subscription, so it's not free.
250 million people have Netflix subscriptions. Of those 250 million, how many other people leech off of that? It's like, imagine the amount of people that are going to be watching this fight is the whole world. Like, this will be the most watched fight in history. Maybe the most watched sporting event outside of like the World Cup and Super Bowl.
It's also Netflix's first live sporting event.
Like,
very first.
I think that there's a chance that Netflix crashes or some shit like that. That could be a real thing.
Nah, they gotta be built up for this.
Now,
that'd be a huge fucking mess.
I think now they are after the Tom Brady roast, but the Tom Brady roast was like the real stress test of like, can we do this? Now they've done the Cat Williams, they've done the Dave Chappelle, they've done the Joe Rogan one. I don't think those are gonna be nearly as big as this fight.
I want to stay on the fighting topic here. John Jones fights this weekend, but I don't really care about this fight. He already said he wants to fight Alex Pereira, and I want you to know, because you're Joshua's a massive UFC fan, and I'm like a little bit, I think the sport should be banned or not allowed. It's almost too violent. He said he's going to retire if he can't fight Alex Pereira, and I want you to know we are in the end games of this world with that fight about to happen, because that fight will break every UFC record. And then we have Indiana football top 5 in the country. I'm telling you right now, Joshua, we are in the end games.
It might be.
I mean, Thanos is about to break through this fucking universe wall any second.
I mean, I would say that, yes, if Indiana beats OSU, then yes, I would say that we are at the end game. Thanos is coming. We are all going to die very soon. I would believe that. John Jones versus Alex Pereira, I think it's going to be a very big fight. Do I think it outsells like McGregor's best fights? No, because Conor, listen, I'm not going to sit here and say it's not going to be a better fight. I think it's going to be a good fight. But when you look at John Jones and Alex Pereira, John Jones is going to eat Alex Pereira for lunch. And it's not going to be the fight everyone is thinking. Everyone wants them standing on their feet, fucking duking it out like an Alex Pereira fight. John Jones ain't going to do that. John Jones is one of the best wrestlers on the planet Earth.
Wait, would John Jones be going up a weight class for Alex Pereira? How would that work?
So
I don't know.
John Jones went up to heavyweight. He was at middleweight. Right now, Pereira's at middleweight, so he would just drop down to just cut more weight. With that being said, John Jones knows damn well that, one, Pereira is a legacy play for him. He knows that this is going to sell tickets. It's going to make the casual fan want to watch that fight. That's why he wants it. It's a legacy thing for him. But that's just to show that he's the greatest of all time, because he's going to dog walk.
Alex Pereira will beat him.
No, he won't. And the reason
I don't know if I've ever seen John Jones fight. Maybe once.
John Jones is the baddest man on the planet. If you locked him in a room with any other human being, any other thing on the planet, he's walking out. It does not matter. He's that bad of a dude.
I'll take the other side of the bet.
No, he's
I'll take the other side.
John Jones will be a heavy favorite against anyone. John Jones is like a minus 500 favorite against the greatest heavyweight to ever fight. Stipe. Like, the greatest heavyweight ever. John Jones, who's going up a weight class, is a minus 500 favorite against. The only other person who has a better odds to fight this at 309, I'm sorry, is Bo Nickel, who's a minus 1,000 favorite. And Bo Nickel, again, is one of those one of the best wrestlers on the planet. And
I believe he went to Penn State.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
But like John Jones back in the day, dude, John Jones was in the UFC at like 18 years old, 19 years old, beating the fuck out of people. Like Daniel Cormier, who's a great UFC announcer, a multiple-time champion. Like, John Jones at 23 years old was beating the fuck out of DC, who was a prime 35-year-old. Like, and I mean, abusing him. There's just it's a different world, and like no one would do that to DC. No one can. Like,
I don't
out-wrestle
think.
him.
Listen, I don't think Alex Pereira is getting dog walked by anybody. I
You're
just don't.
No, not standing up kickboxing. No, I don't think so. But John Jones isn't going to do that. John Jones is going to take him down to the ground, and he's going to choke him till his head pops off. And that's the difference. Like, people don't understand. It's not going to be it's not going to be a fun fight to watch. Like, John Jones doesn't always have the funnest fight to watch. His fights are always great. But like, there's times where if he knows he's in trouble, he's like, I'm going to grab this dude, and I'm just going to choke him until he can't fucking breathe anymore. And that's what he does. Like, no one...
Has he ever lost?
No.
John Jones has never lost.
Never lost.
What's his record?
A lot. He
Like 40-0?
No. It's like it's probably in the high 20s, maybe low 30s.
He's never lost in the UFC.
Never. Let me just say, he has a no contest for doing a 12-6 elbow, which is now legal. But at the time, the referee called it. So he's beating the fuck out of this dude in the first round. Like, the dude is basically unconscious on the mat, and he does a 12-6 elbow on him.
What's 12-6?
Which when you go down and like straight down like that, it's a legal it's a legal thing now in the UFC. But at the time was illegal. So he got basically like a no contest for the fight.
But he would have won.
The guy was unconscious on the mat, Zachary. What do you think would have happened? Do you think the guy was going to get up and beat his ass after he just dog walked him for 4.5 minutes? Like, I mean, I'll show you the fight, bro. John Jones was repeatedly, like, it was the most violent thing you've ever seen in your life. You were like, oh, that should be illegal. Like, that's what you're thinking the whole time. It was bad. So that's his one. That's why they say, like, Dana White's always like glazing John Jones, like, oh, he's the greatest fighter. It's like, that's the joke, is like, Dana made the 12-6 legal to be like, see, John really is undefeated. He is the greatest of all time. But I don't think that's why. I think it's just a legal thing.
Well, I think if you made it this far, I love you. Drop a like, leave a comment, hit subscribe, comment wristband, DM us on Instagram so then we can ship it to you, because we don't want to put your address on YouTube. But we appreciate you listening. Till next time.
Peace.
About to get all this dough. Me and no fuck niggas know. I swear to God, we the ghosts. This ain't the story they told. Man, if you know, then you know. I never had to tell my dogs that we on rough for greatness. They pay